fun here. Tesla's Model 3 is one of the most highly anticipated electric cars of all time. Now, we've already talked about the range, we've talked about the tech, but today we're here to find out how fun is it to drive. And we're going to do it in this Model 3 Performance with the all-new track package. Let's see how much of Tesla's cone budget we can destroy on this autocross course. Now, we've got this whole autocross course to ourselves today, so we can really see what this car can do. Now, in the hierarchy of Model 3s, you've got the rear-wheel drive Model 3, the base model. You've also got the dual motor, which has another motor on the front axle for better traction. And then beyond that, you've got the Model 3 Performance, which is going to really sort of up the way this thing delivers power, and that's going to give you that really impressive 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Now, beyond that, what we're working with today is the Tesla Model 3 Performance with the Performance Pack. And that's going to add a couple of hardware upgrades, including a better suspension, slightly stiffer, slightly lower. You've got 20-inch wheels that are going to be wrapped with bespoke performance tires that are built specifically for the Model 3, and that's going to give you a good balance of low rolling resistance when you're driving it around day to day for that range that you want, but also really good sort of lateral grip when you're on a high performance situation like we're in today, at least so I'm told. You've also got those huge red brakes behind the wheels that are going to give you better stopping performance when you're in a track or autocross situation like we're in today. Now, in addition to the new hardware, we've got a new track mode software. That's a new mode that you're going to be able to put the Model 3 into that's going to allow you to better take advantage of its performance. When you put it into track mode, the Model 3 is going to give you better cooling. It's going to adjust the way that its cooling systems handle the thermals of the battery pack and the electric motor, so you can better take advantage of the energy that you have without having to worry about a performance drop because you're pushing it too hard. There are also enhancements to the stability control system, the way this car sends power to the front and rear wheels that are going to allow you to have a little bit more fun and hang it out in the corners. And then finally, there are adjustments to the regenerative braking system that are going to work in tandem with those new big brakes to allow you to get better stopping performance and cornering performance. We'll talk more about that once we get it moving, so let's just pop this thing into track mode. You got to come to a stop first, park it, and then put it in track mode, and now we're ready to go. Now, I mentioned that 0 to 60 happens in 3.5 seconds. We don't have enough track for that, but holy crap, the acceleration on this thing is impressive. Now, as I tuck it into the corners, I'm noticing that this car has a really good on-center feeling. Part of that is because of the sort of inherent advantages to a nice low center of gravity from the battery pack, the way that Tesla has moved the motors slightly inboard of the axle, so you get a good 50-50 split on your weight distribution. And that's going to make this car feel good and balanced when you're cornering. But there's also some black magic software trickery happening behind the scenes in the way that the Model 3 sort of detects what the car is doing and what the driver's intentions are, and then delivering the right amount of power to the front wheels or to the rear wheels, or in certain situations like when you're tucking into a corner, maybe even adding more regenerative braking on the front or rear axle to help tuck the nose in when you're going past an apex, or stabilize the rear end when you're starting to slide it out a little bit. And from the driver's seat, I'm just able to have a really good time with this thing and just hang the tail out in the corners. Now, we've got huge brakes here, so when I come into a corner and I really get on them, I can really shave off speed well. But behind the scenes, the Tesla is actually doing a pretty interesting job of balancing as much regenerative braking as it can possibly give and balancing that with the big friction brakes. That means that when we put out all of this energy just sort of accelerating out of a corner, and when we hit the brakes the next time, we're gathering as much of that energy back as possible. But the other advantage is that we're not really using those big friction brakes as much as we would be in a similar car of this weight driven this hard. So we don't really have to worry so much about brake fade. And so we've been sort of flogging this car for the better part of an hour out here, and we're not even at half the battery pack. That's amazing. So you can drive this thing at your average sort of autocross event where you probably only spend maybe about an hour flogging the car and still have enough range to make it home. That's impressive. I am having way too much fun here. I continue to be impressed with just how easy it is to just sort of chuck this thing around a corner. And also how easy it is to sort of like feel what's happening. And if I go into a corner too fast and I start to understeer, I kind of know exactly what I need to do to bring it on around. And the same with oversteer. It's very natural. Okay, I'm gonna be straight with you. I did not expect to have this much fun today, but with the performance pack upgrades and the track mode, I've done some things in this car I never expected to be able to do in an eco-friendly vehicle. The Model 3 is truly an impressive car. Now, Tesla's already started deliveries on Model 3s with the performance pack upgrades, and if you're one of the lucky few that already have one, well, you can expect that track mode and a firmware upgrade soon.